Hello, welcome back to my corridors. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my corridors. Today I'm going to be talking about something I've really always wanted to talk about on my channel. I've only briefly mentioned it a couple times, or common sense would tell you, but I really want to talk about how metal has changed my life for the better, how it's impacted me. So, try to start from the beginning. Metal has just been a part of me forever. I mean, literally forever, ever since I was born. Ever since, from the womb. But, I always enjoyed it. I always thought it was a fun genre to listen to, and I still do, and I'm like, who wouldn't? But, it's been with me for such hard times, and I'll go into a little bit of detail about the hard times. There's a lot, but I'm only gonna briefly summarize them. So, when I was a kid, elementary school, stuff like that, I was always the loner. I was always the quote-unquote weird kid, and I was the kid that nobody wanted to talk to because everybody hated me because I was weird or creepy, or some people had the audacity to tell me I was annoying. But, I didn't think too much about it because I always had metal with me. I always had music to listen to. My mom would always play it in the car. I would play it on the radio. Could have sworn I had some CDs, but I can't remember. So, yeah, it's just, changed my life for the better. It's made me happier. It's helped me through, the times of being lonely. I mean, it didn't just help in elementary school. Middle school would help too, because, I was always the quiet kid, and, I didn't want to get involved in the popular kids, because, that wasn't me. I wasn't one of those people, the ones that like to gossip or all that, the typical stuff that popular kids do. So, I mean, I was always, artistic, and so I was the quiet, artistic kid, so sometimes I was a little lonely, but again, I had music, metal to listen to. So metal has just kind of been my friend throughout life, It's just, even if it's not a physical person, it still has always been my friend. And, it hasn't left my side, and probably never will. And I'm not sorry. But middle school, elementary school, this is just the typical stuff people say. But the next thing I'm gonna say is when I'm in high school. So, and I'm gonna talk about some serious stuff next. So, if any of you are sensitive to that, please don't watch it. So, high school was probably some of the worst years for me. All 4 years, I mean, I got bullied. I was always, again, seen as the weird loner kid or something. And that's when I have depression. I have anxiety. And that's not a secret. And, sometimes I'll try to deny that I do, but I've never been officially diagnosed with anything, but it's so obvious that I do. And they began in middle school, but in high school is when they started to get worse, because I started having suicidal thoughts. I self-harmed when I was younger. I still have scars on my body to prove that I did. But, and it didn't help that the relationship I was in at the time, the person was making it worse. I was emotionally and psychologically abused by my last partner. He would make that mental illness worse. He would constantly bring me down. Honestly, all I could do was breathe, and he'd have a problem with me. But senior year, I left him, but these mental problems just, they never went away, but the one thing that helped me manage it a little bit more was listening to metal. I would, sometimes I would have bad days at school from getting bullied by mean popular girls, and the constant walking on eggshells from my last partner. But, I'd sit in my bedroom and listen to Megadeth, listen to Pantera, listen to Nightwish or Children of Bodom, or whatever bands I listened to. All that stress would just go away. Whatever anxiety or dark thoughts I had, they would just go away, and were they like a permanent, remedy? No, I kept having to do it multiple times, but metal has always been my friend. Metal has, always been there for me when I needed it. Listening to music really, really helped. And I've talked about how lots of bands have impacted my life, and and I have I have a backstory for each one, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. But it's still with me. 2020 affected my depression too. I began having suicidal thoughts again, but I listened to a lot of music. I listened to a lot of listen to a lot of black metal, listen to a lot of death metal, and all the stuff I like, all the stuff I currently like. And I'm getting into new bands, and it always kind of boosts my serotonin. So music is one of the things that got me through last year. And currently this year, I will admit this year is better. I'm not saying it's... it may not end up being, but... it's just been a lot better for me, mentally. Because I've seen things clear up, and, I went through a lot of crap earlier this year. But, listening to metal always helped me. And not just metal, all the music genres I listen to, but metal has really been helpful for when I have those times of stress or anxiety or any dark thoughts I have. And yeah, it's just really been there for me, and I don't regret it. I am not sorry that I started listening to metal in the first place. I'm not sorry that I became a metalhead. I am happy. I am proud to be myself. I love myself. Do I have those days? I have those days where I think I'm the worst person in the world, but whenever I listen to metal, all those feelings kind of just flush away. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. I hope maybe some of you could relate to this. I hope maybe I brought a little bit of light into someone's day by talking about this. Because I don't always talk about these things, but I think it's time I do. I've always been open about my mental health, but I never actually talked about it on camera. I always typed it in an Instagram post, but I think it's just time I don't bottle that up anymore with YouTube. Hopefully I won't get in trouble for saying certain words in this video, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Support me on social media, support me anywhere. And I'll see you all later, and stay metal.